All right, man. We're gonna do some leg raises, man. It's about time we get back into this workout, man. I'm getting,
We
you know
gotta
what I'm
do
saying?
we gotta do
So
leg
we're
raises.
gonna do some leg raises. All right, so leg
All
raises
right.
on this the dip station, and the whole point of this, man, is what we want to do is we want to get our legs all the way up to where we see our butt in the mirror, right? And if you got a mirror in front of you, man, you want to see my butt? That's what you want to
See
do
your
right
butt.
there. Yeah, that's what you want to do. The whole point is not just doing the leg raise and getting it up here, man. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. You want to get it up here. This is gonna be a max rep as well. And then just to save time, the next exercise is gonna be an oblique twist. Okay, we're gonna get up on this dip station, right? And what we're gonna try to do is basically contract our muscles to where uh, we're trying to, I guess kick your forehead, right? For lack of better way to express this here, but I'm trying to kick my forehead. So I'm bringing it up and I'm contracting my oblique muscles to bring my legs and my chest
So I
towards
think
my
this
feet,
this
and the
thing over
same thing
here.
my
I
feet
asked
towards
so
my
many
chest.
people what this is called. This one bodybuilder lady, she's like 66 years old. I think she called it a Russian chair or Roman chair, and she called it a
Roman
Roman
chair.
chair.
Wow,
Yeah. Now
wow.
you said to get my legs as high up as possible. I think you tripping with that. Like you saying go way up there, right?
Yeah.
I'm like when I
Well,
usually do this, I go here and then here, and I usually feel that. So what's the purpose of going way up there like that?
so you want a more explosive I guess contraction when you're doing abs, man. I
Okay.
noticed that so personally, I noticed that when I do like in and outs on the chair, and I try to bring my knees to my chest, I
Yeah.
feel more of a contraction with my abs more so than when I just do kind of a half-assed or just a certain distance up. So I guess to each his own, however you feel it. But for me, it's more of an explosive athletic movement when I bring my legs that far up because then I
Yeah.
have to control it. And again, it's I guess it's more of a preference thing, right? So right. So
Yeah,
now
that
like
definitely
my thing
feels
is this.
it
So
feels a
with
lot more explosive. And on the way down to control my legs, that I really feel my muscles, my abs, like really working to keep control of my legs when they're coming from a height like that. When it's here, it's more like I have to keep myself from rocking. But up here, there is no rock. I have to work in order to bring it down slower. So I think I'm gonna kick my legs up high like that from now on.
and, and slow up the kick up and then tell me what you feel on that because I when I slow mine up I feel more of a contraction. I don't have to do as many
Definitely. Yeah.
and then and
Yeah,
then
I'm
and
not
try
gonna be
to
able to do as many.
maintain a rigid upper body when you do it. So we
Yeah.
have the backs to do so. Try not to rock
Yeah.
so far back. So
Okay.
allow their legs to do the work. So you get more of a leg workout. I mean, I'm sorry, ab workout when you work from the bottom up instead of the top down. You
Now,
understand?
in order for me to put my legs up high like that, I'm gonna have to swing them up because for me to get them up that high, I need it to be an athlete, like you said, an athletic movement.
Right.
I can't raise them.
We go
They they won't raise on their own just slowly that high.
right.
So
Get
I
it. Get
guess
it. Get it how you can get it, and we'll work on that. That's what I'm saying. That's
all right,
that's that's the beauty of all of this, right? Now
right,
we're accentuating some of our weaknesses, and then we're gonna get to a point where we're gonna get stronger, and you're gonna see the results on this channel. So that's what's
all
up.
right, cool.
I like that.
All right, so I'm gonna take my set, man. And I think you had something that you wanted to say about to continue that conversation. My
Well,
point is that oppression is oppression. Discrimination is discrimination, and the T and the Q of the LGBTQ community, they are just as oppressed as people of color, or just as oppressed as women or Hispanics. What do you think about that?
this is the thing. So look, I agree that those folks are, I would say they are oppressed. Yes. There's a lot of people that have strong opinions about that, and they allow their decisions to be based on how they feel about those folks, man. And I think that's wrong. But my thing, I'm also a firm believer in fairness, man. And where do you draw the line, man? Is standing for something real. And I think some folks just take advantage. It's just like us, man. We take advantage of a lot of programs and things as well. And when we had that whole big rash of like, talk to me this way, you're gonna get fired. You say this, call me boy, this whatever. You know what I mean? I get it. I get it. And I understand the correlation, right? But again, like where do you draw the line? And again, I like the fact that there are rules in favor of the professor because it's like, yes, free thought in academia. Like, what are we trying to do? Are we going to stifle that as well? Just because of someone's preference that there's not necessarily life or death. You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, I might sound a little insensitive, but it's just like, where does it stop? And that's my concern. Where does it stop? Where do we just say, all right, enough is enough, man? This is not hindering anyone's progression. You understand what I'm saying? So again,
yeah. So you're saying, and I feel you. You're saying that it's not hindering. It's not hindering the student's progression because the student was still doing well in the class, right?
Right. And they definitely didn't show their bias in their grading process.
Okay. So I'll say this. I'll say it is hindering their progression. Well, for one, I'm under the impression of what he's saying. Matter of fact, you referenced Coming to America, so I'm gonna reference Coming to America, right?
Yes, sir.
His mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
I'm gonna call him Clay.
I'm gonna call him Clay. Now, I disagree with that. Right? So I legally changed my last name. Right? And I legally changed my last name because I always hated my born last name. Me and my pops aren't really. That's a whole nother story, but I changed my last name because I have the right to do so, and I'm a grown ass man. Now, with that being said, my new last name is dope. Everybody loves it, besides my mom's. Right? My mom's continues to call me by my last name, and she does it on purpose. Shout out to my mom, right. She's the queen of the world, right? But still, she continues to do that. She is not going to call me Malcolm X. She's going to call me Cassius Clay. And I believe that a person has the right to be called what they want to be called. Now, even though I think however I think about what you were assigned or what your genitalia says you are, why I say genitalia so Italian, like a genitalia. Regardless of what my personal opinions and beliefs are, at the end of the day, if you tell me, call me this, then I think that you have the right to be called that, period. So even if you're not transgender, even if I'm not transgender and I sit in Professor Merriweather's class and I say, hey, call me Autobot. My name is Autobot. Matter of fact, that's what the school did. The schools now are saying that students have the right to be not only called what pronoun, but to be called whatever name they choose. So you have financial aid on their records. You have financial aid that says your first and last name is this. You have all these student records that say that your last name is the same as, or it's this name. But you can tell the school, regardless of what the records say, this is what I'm going to be known as here. And they have the right to do that. So in that sense, in that regard, the professor's tripping.
All right. You're set. My turn. You know what? I agree. You know what? If you want to call me Optimus Prime, if I want to be called Optimus Prime, you gonna call me Optimus Prime. But I'm not gonna get fired if I don't. That's what I'm tripping about. Like, I'm not gonna get fired because, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get fired. You should get fired because you don't call me Optimus Prime. So, like, that's what I don't understand. Like, like I said, if it's derogatory, if I call you out of your name, you know what I'm saying? Where we know that this is, you know what I'm saying? Like out of the box. Like the N-word, whatever have you, right? Come on, man. Like that's common sense. Now I get it. We're trying to normalize that. We're trying to make it so it's like, well, this is hurting your feelings, so you should abide by it, blah blah blah. And I get that, but again, when do we stop? That's my whole point here. When does it stop? And that's what I'm afraid of, man. I'm afraid of, this our moral fiber. Not a moral fiber. No, that's not what I'm saying. But like, our institutions just like unraveling because of pronouns, homie. Like, I don't know. Like I said, miss me with that. I think that's an issue in our society.
You think it's going too far? So, and you're saying if we're gonna let it go too far, so like, I mean, to a certain extent, I feel you, right? And this is definitely a conversation that we are not gonna, of course, get to the bottom of in this workout. And I look forward to speaking with or having some guests on that are transgender, so we could have a better understanding. Um, so when you mentioned going too far, I think of things like that Soledad's lady who pretended to be black, and she was running her local chapter up at NAACP, and then Dola's
something.
ass, yeah, Dola's
Dola,
ass, right?
something, yeah, I don't know.
Clearly a white lady, and they damn near had to prove to her that they knew that she was white, and then years later she does a documentary and she says she identifies as black, right?
Okay.
So it's like, it does open up, like you say, Pandora's box about like, when does this stop? Like, I identify as a canine, not to say that canines and transgendered are equal. I'm just saying, like, I identify as a Martian. I identify as a, you know what I mean? Like, can I identify as an Asian man? Can I
That's
identify
all
as
I'm
an
saying.
I feel you on that. But on the other side, to answer your other question, from my perspective, when you say when does it stop, I think as an ally with the Pride community, I would say it stops when the injustices against their people stop, or it stops when they're free to be themselves and not be persecuted or not be laughed at or not be poked at or not be hurt or killed. Because transgender, like, this is a community where people are hurt, murdered, and people tend to not even care because they're like, yeah, well, they were outliers. They probably weren't even telling people that they were transgender. This happens, bro. This happens. They are persecuted.
Well,
You don't even hear about it.
Well, no, I get it, but people get persecuted. Again, I'm gonna be on my Rico, man. People get persecuted every day, B. Like, for whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that's nothing. You're not gonna stop that, okay? But to say that they're not accepted in society, these guys have, man, I'm gonna sound like an old white man, but it's like they have programming for 'em. They have programs within the government. You understand what I'm saying? Again, we all accept it. We accepted it, bro. This is here and it's gonna stay. And no one should have a problem with that. But it's just like, how far do you take it? You know what I mean? I guess maybe if you look at it, maybe it was smarter than us, and when we were let in the door, we kind of let off the gas, huh? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're saying, no, we're going full throttle in this. We're gonna get everything, but to be laughed at and ridiculed, I mean, come on, that's life. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what's gonna happen regardless. It's gonna happen if you wear bobos in the wrong environment, right? Like, it just, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's not gonna stop. Okay, but to say that they're not accepted and this is not something that everybody's accustomed to now is just false.
Nah, bro,
this
you
is,
really,
this is in our world.
yeah, we
This is
definitely
in our
agree
world.
to disagree. We agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah.
I do not think that they are accepted. I think what is happening is there is a push, maybe too heavy of a push, but there's a push for them to be accepted. But I know, personally
By
speaking,
who though? By who though? But who accepted by who? Like, who are we
they
trying to convince?
to get
Like,
to
who are we
who are we
talking
trying to
about?
convince?
Yeah, that's the real question for me. Like, who is this boogeyman that we're like, man, he's got to give the
Well,
nod of approval, and then they're accepted. I mean, again, like me,
I guess the
for
same.
instance, I have. Okay, go ahead.
I guess
Yes.
the same people that black people or women or handicapped folks or those same people that are pushing to be accepted or to be understood. Those are the same. That's the same community that transgenders are trying to be accepted by. And also, I would say, yeah, I would agree that there is an agenda to push certain beliefs, and whether or not that's right, is one thing. But I would say a transgender student like Meriwether had, on one hand, it seems like she was baiting him, but on the other hand,
Oh,
on the other hand, it seems like she might have been trying to open up the understanding because it was supposed to be a free thinking environment. So she wants not only him to understand, you must call me this because this shows that you are. It's like you don't call black people colored. You must call a black person black or African American. You can't call them colored anymore because that shows a
why
lack
not?
of understanding.
Okay.
It shows a lack of understanding.
What once lack of empathy once identified. And again, so and that's cool, but should you get fired for it?
Would you want, so if one of your daughters, high
A lack
school,
of understanding.
if your youngest daughter's teacher, or middle school teacher, called her colored, say, "Come here, little colored girl," well, would you want her fired? Hell
What I want
fucking
to
yeah.
fire.
Hell fucking
What I
yeah.
want to.
You would want that bitch
what's
gone.
weird, you know what's weird is I guess I would break down, colored, because I mean we say it, NAACP. I mean National Association for Colored People.
You got them there. They
Right,
need to change it.
so I would.
They need to change it to
Right,
NAACP.
I would.
NAACP.
Right? Right, but my thing is this: like, I would have to break down, colored, like in that sense. Like, does this woman have a history of being this type of way? Is my child doing, awful in this class? Is that, you know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you about, some folks I know that still use that word, right?
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah. But it's like, I think the more power that you give it is one of those. I think that's when it starts to unravel a little bit. I don't really give it much because I know. I guess deep down in this man's heart, he doesn't mean any harm by it because that was a phrase I was just saying. It wasn't more so like, damn these colored folks. It's
You talking about
context,
somebody that used it with you? Somebody used the word colored with
yeah,
you?
Yeah. It's like, like, damn these colored folks. I can't stand them. They're taking all our jobs. They're staying, I guess it's all in context because again, we say it, we use it. So that's one of those things, man. Anyway, let me get to this next exercise.
Yeah, show me what it is. And we'll finish.
I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing that's under 100. I don't want nothing.